Today I went outside and I was cold. That hasn't happened in ages. I almost cried because I was so happy. Well, we're halfway through Artfight and we still have 2 weeks to go. Woo! Motivation! Of course I'm gonna continue right away. My next target is called Lydia. We have an OC with the same name. Dear artist who this character belongs to. Actually, just today I realized that the artist is finishing their bachelor's thesis on the 21st of July and today's the 20th. So maybe I can make it in time and give them a little gift. Why not? Lydia is a porcelain doll that is inspired by Greek traditional designs, as it seems. There's not much known about her and I couldn't find any lore, but her design is already enough to make me want to draw her. What does a porcelain doll do? With almost every single attack, I usually have no idea how to draw them or what I want to draw. But then I sketch them down and there's always this moment where it just clicks. So if you struggle with that too, just sketch as long as you can and the idea will come. Still no idea. Here it says you can put these Greek square swirls. Greek square swirls. Griechische Quadratschnörkel in the gold trim of her clothes, if you like. I believe the artist means this. Let me try again. No. I was not too far. I was actually not far off at all. Am I stupid? I think I need to take a break. Oh my god. Yeah, but kind of like this. I was not far off at all on the rims here. Great, that still hasn't brought me any further. I could draw angsty stuff like she's cracking, but I don't know. I should have clarified that I mean her skin is cracking. Portrait would also look good. Maybe let me add some blue paint. Blue color. This is the only blue pencil I could find. It's not accurate. Oh, she has red eyes. Okay, I have an idea. I want light to shine on one eye, like they're looking through a door crack. There's only one stripe of light. I'm over here wondering why I'm so exhausted. Then I remember we had a heat wave up to 40 degrees Celsius that lasted more than a week. Then a few days that had thunderstorms, 20 degrees Celsius. Then another heat wave, but this time with much more humidity. And now it's 20 degrees outside. Dry, sunshine. Why is my body exhausted? Who knows? So, my soft boxes are too soft to really throw shadows onto my face. But I also have my sunset lamp that doesn't have a long cable. And I'm just gonna place it here and see what it does. I'm gonna test the shadow it's throwing and I might need to make everything dark. Maybe this is already enough. Okay, can you see it? Yes. This is the light it's throwing and if I put something right in front of it, we have a soft shadow, but it's also already better than the shadow from my soft boxes. The closer I bring the book to the canvas, the sharper it gets, obviously. This will have to do. The color we have is yellow, actually. This is red. This is green. Purple. No, purple is too purple. I think I'm actually gonna pick the green one. Or maybe white. This is white. I'm not gonna pick that. Every color is like a mixture, except for the primary ones. So I'm gonna select green with a mixture. What did I do now? I need a second book. I'm glad that it's not hot anymore because the lamp heats up pretty quickly. Another sketchbook. Amazing. Yeah, I have the problem that I can't place my phone here because it's all too narrow. And I have to be careful to not look into the light because it's way too bright. Maybe I can put it here. No, the gap between both books is this narrow, but it looks like this on my face. Yeah, no, I might need to make it even darker in here. Let's see if this is enough. Oh, it's looking good. Not too bad. I just need a reference for the light that is falling here. I like this already. Oh, can you even see me? I'm gonna take a few more, but I already like this. This is good. Oh, the colors look beautiful. Yeah, if I get closer, the shadow is even more noticeable. Getting this close to the camera, to a phone camera, is never good, but who cares? Yeah, why not? Let me try another one. No, I do want the eye to be highlighted, at least one. There was an attempt to make it look unexpected for myself and maybe good, but maybe not. I have to pick the first one. I actually like it best. Obviously, it's gonna be dark in the room. And then in the back, the light is also hitting the wall. And as we know now, it's gonna be thicker than the object in the front. Oh my, I just realized I could have just put fabric on my head to make drawing the veil easier. But I did not think of that. I'm gonna make my skin blue. I'm actually the worst possible model for this because my camera has no battery anymore. Help me. I forgot what I wanted to say. Yeah, I was talking about that I'm the worst possible model because I have straight dark hair and the character has curly blonde hair. And the red lipstick is contrasting all that. I also want to add the cheeks. I have to apologize for this hastily put together reference because it looks like it's doing the character major injustice. It looks like I'm trying to Photoshop myself into looking like someone from Avatar. But what this reference has given me is the idea of the surroundings because I want to play with the light. It is supposed to be pretty dark all around the character. And then there's like not a lot of shading at all. Maybe I can make it even darker. For example, I think this is going to look pretty epic. Less is more. I'm gonna take this. Who just recorded an entire session without turning the microphone on? Me! Who has to record everything again? Also me! The painting is finished. You might think that this angle is easy to draw. Well, let me tell you, it is not. Because capturing symmetry is way more difficult than painting the face from the side slightly. Because the human eye instantly recognizes if something is off with the symmetry. And spoiler, I did not end up making it entirely symmetrical, but that's okay. However, I had a lot of fun experimenting with different facial features because it is explicitly stated that the character has an aquiline nose, which is, I think, commonly known as Roman or Greek nose, like a European nose that has a bump here. And I think I didn't do too bad at that. Here you can see that I already had the idea to make the skin glow like porcelain, but this was done without a reference and more like a mark to remind me that I need to add the glow later, because then it took me a long time to render the hair, because rendering locks takes so much more time than rendering straight hair. What also took a long time was adding the patterns, but that changed so much about the painting because it made everything look so much more interesting. I also love that it is inspired by porcelain dishes. Then I eventually came back to the hair and added shading, like more shading than I already did, to really make it glow and give it that golden shine. And then I added a glow for a proper porcelain skin, this time with a reference, with many references. I just kind of combined it out of all the pictures that I looked up. By the way, if you look up porcelain skin, you will not find anything close to the skin of a porcelain doll. If you want proper references, type glossy skin or glossy porcelain skin. And all that patience paid off because I did not add the lighting until everything was properly rendered. Let me break it down for you. First I added dark blue as the shadows, and normally I use the blending mode multiply, but this time it would have looked too ashy. Instead I used color burn, which keeps more of the vibrancy of the colors, but also makes the lighter colors stand out kind of unnaturally and makes it look kind of glossy. Then I did not leave the streak in the middle empty, but instead I added light blue color with an additive mask on top. However, I did not add a streak from top to bottom, but instead kind of spared the areas with shadows, such as below the chin, the eyes, and the top of the head. And then to accent the area where shadow meets light, I added a bit of color with an overlay mask. At this point, I just did some adjustments, and maybe I used the liquify tool quite a lot because I did struggle with the symmetry. And no, the face is not perfectly symmetrical, but this is the finished result. I have no idea how to pronounce the next character's name.
Syëll.
Syëll. The artist is a mangaka actually, and I think you can really see that in the style. Syëll is a generous young girl full of kindness and an amnesiac orphan since the age of 8, who lives her life taking care of requests from the royal family of her country. Syëll is able to manipulate arcane magic, essentially the arcana of water. Water bending, yes! I love drawing water! She also fights with a sword and tends to be awkward at times. Now, the design is beautiful, water magic is involved. What more do I want? Water shapes. Ta-da, water. I want water bending, obviously. And I really like the patterns that look almost like runes. I kind of want them to glow. Maybe put her in darkness. But I don't know yet. This time I do know how I want to present the character, but I have no idea what environment to put her in. I want wind to be involved, because wind can make hair fly, and flying hair tends to look beautiful. But of course, she also needs to be water bending. Maybe. Okay, I was just thinking something entirely else. Sunlight hits the water. Water scatters rainbow light. I like that. Maybe she's meditating for whatever reason. I'm kind of imagining her like doing this. Like with closed eyes. I think I'm gonna get more ideas when I take the reference pictures. I need to figure out the angles before I do anything. I should make a ponytail. Ponytail as well. Alright, honestly the light is pretty. It looks good. I have natural light from here, from back there, and then artificial light from there. Give me a minute. Because this thing is heavy. And I always feel like I'm breaking it when I... Yes, see? I want the wind to come from here. Let's try that out. I wish I could place it higher. I really need to watch out not to trip on the cable because it's right between my phone and me. The wind doesn't have the right angle. That's a tiny bit better, but it doesn't make my hair fly the way I want to. I was thinking of maybe incorporating a sword. Oh, this is not even as bad as I expected it to be, but it does look boring. I kind of have the idea that she's doing this because people sometimes do that with their swords. Maybe a bit more of an interesting perspective. You know what? Scratch that. I don't want the sword. I want just magic. Let me try to get into the mood. Something like this, maybe. I'm gonna try to just take a random picture without me knowing what pose exactly I'm doing. This here is not too bad. I want it to look natural and not staged, so that's why I'm doing this. Let me try out one more. It's starting to look a bit ridiculous. Maybe she's holding her hair out of her face because the wind is coming from behind. But then the ponytail would be floating here. Do I want that? Not really. Let me try anyway. I didn't even hold my hair out of my face. For shortened perspective, I'm gonna try again. My hair. You know, this looks kind of epic, but it would be so difficult to capture this. Ugh. I need to turn off the fan, it's distracting me. Okay. No, I still don't like the results. Let me think. Something more dynamic. The L shape of my arms is not my favorite. I do like this hand angle, but I want to put more focus on the character. I think I have enough pictures to think of something. And you know what? I think my mind is just oversaturated of past references I took because everything starts to look the same even though it doesn't. Maybe you get what I mean. Okay, I still haven't decided, but I have 4 favorites. Either this one, this one, this one, or this one. I read somewhere that she also travels across the sea, so I want to put the sea in the background because then the wind would make sense as well. Maybe the horizon is like colored orange. This is the sea. I want her right side to be shown to the camera because that's where the hairpiece is. Here I could technically make the hair fly like this. Maybe if I make the background more orange, that will be a very nice contrast. Or purple. Ooh, the ideas are finally sparking. Then what about, let's not judge too soon. Let me amplify the hair as well. No? The reason why the hair here is working is that we have space where it should fly. However, here, my arm is in the way. I can make it float through here, but it would be distracting. I have to flip this one as well. Same issue as before. I don't like that the hands are too distracting. Now I'm down to 2 pictures. Yeah, this one is cute. I can make the hair float here, and then I can put water magic here. I can also make it coil around the arm a bit. Okay, this or that. You know what, I'm gonna keep both and take a look at it later, because I do like the atmosphere of this one more, but this is more in character, I think. We have another pitch black screen. I did not pick the background to be black this time, at least not that I remember, because I was trying to avoid exactly this. Anyway, we start off with this, and on top I'm already mapping the water ability and some little shading. This time I even integrated the line art into the shading, because I was trying to do something new. And when I added the colors on top, I was not quite sure about them, because they're pretty bold. We have purple in the background, orange, and then in the foreground this really vibrant red, orange. It doesn't look that good yet. And since I was unsure about it, I just started rendering on top of what I already had and added way more shading, because technically the light source is right behind the character and she would be shrouded in way more shadow than she is. But I wanted a bit of light to fall on her face as well, even though it's a bit unrealistic. I had a lot of fun adding the clouds and the waves, because they just look beautiful and it was relaxing. And another fun part was adding the distortion of the water inside the water magic. If you want to know in detail how I did that, I actually made a tutorial once. As you can see, I continue to take careful care of the finer details. I forgot English. And if you look closely, you can see that I covered the sun with a hair strand, because it was just too bright. It was distracting. At this point, I just added more lighting and shading to finish it off, and that's it. That's attack number 8? The next character has quite some interesting lore to her, and the artist is putting crazy effort into the character profiles. In the description it literally reads, "Is the queen of the kingdom Splendor, meeting when she was a princess." Well, that doesn't make me uneasy at all. Well, yeah, this character is just called Queen. Her life is like the usual princess fairy tale, and she's reached the happily ever after part of the rest of her eternal life. Eternal? That sounds stressful. How old is she? Physically 30 something, and in reality 90k years old. Imagine being alive for 90,000 years. That has to be exhausting. It's no wonder that she seems like she's constantly in her own world, and she seems to be forgetting things. Something seems off about her husband. It's been like that for quite some time, but it's definitely her husband, right? In the character relationships it just says King, the King of Splendor, right? And then King of Splendor. Why is he mentioned twice? What is going on here? And also her eye color is a muted blue, but only King can see her eyes as a neon cyan. That's quite something to work with. She is wearing a white lace gown. I am very motivated to draw something like this. Let me just focus on the eyes. I do want to make them glow. So she... Oh, really important. I think I should not give her human ears. She usually has a happy expression on her face. Is that happy enough? Yes. Already looking quite nice. And now, blue eyes. But now I really want to put the dress in focus. I want to make the dress as well as her eyes stand out. And she has wings as well, right? Oh, drawing wings is not easy. Okay, let me try something. You know, maybe she's like holding her dress and swinging it. Maybe she's dancing all alone. Look at her very emotional face. I want to make her dance. But the eyes, wait a minute. I need to make her dance and look at the camera at the same time. I just wanted to say that I need a sword, but the word I'm looking for is skirt. And it's in here. What did I want to do? Ah, skirt, yes. Maybe this could help me as a reference with ruffles. I'm gonna keep it. I have so many ties. Oh god, the bag is flaking all over everything. Ah! Here we have it. Right, his sleeves are very puffy as well. Okay, maybe this will work. You have to trust me in the process, okay? Now I have the issue that the sleeves are only starting below the shoulders. So let me work this out first. That's not too bad, but then also I kind of need to tie them here. Maybe with my hair ties. good enough, I think. My freedom of movement is restricted and it's making me upset. But this is good enough. What do we think? The sleeves do not look like this, obviously, but now I have an idea of how the clothes fall. Oh, no, it's falling off. I'm so upset. Oh no! My phone is still attached to the ceiling. I can't reach up. Wait. I did it. I have it. The sleeves are still intact. It's so uneven. Okay, maybe I should put it to the floor completely. Oh yeah, that's not too bad. I am ready. I probably don't like this one. No, what the fuck? The skirt needs to be more interesting. It's definitely not going to be a natural pose. And I want her to directly look into the camera. This one's not too bad. Yes. No, wait. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. Okay, we have her holding her dress. What else? Holding it more? No, that looks stupid. I wanted something like this, but I don't know how to... Oh, wait. Okay, in theory this is good, but this picture is not good. What about this? Hold on, I need to give my camera some new batteries. This battery is also almost empty because I unplugged my charger. Why did I do that again? I don't remember. Anyway, but the pictures are not bad. I'm probably close to having a finished result. The sleeves are falling apart as well. Patience. And the camera turned off. Well, then you shortly have to deal with this angle. Let me take another one. And then from the other angle. There's something off about each single one of these, and I can't exactly picture what. I'm gonna take the shawl off because it's falling apart and it's annoying. Okay, maybe one more. Yeah, to be honest, I like the more confrontational ones. I'm gonna show you what I mean right away when I have charged my camera. I apologize for all the technical issues today. Today's not really my day. That is mint, by the way. When I said that I wanted to be more confrontational, this is what I mean. My upper body is facing the camera, my face is kind of facing away, but my eyes are facing the camera. Oh, Speicherplatz voll, ich weiß. Ich weiß. Hold on. Last time I checked the footage of my screen recording, the majority of it was just frozen, so I hope this will kind of work. Sweet. Oh, I don't know if she's wearing shoes. Oh, I have to improvise. Maybe I'm just gonna draw her bare feet. I don't know if that's accurate, but if you live for 90,000 years, maybe you just don't care to wear shoes anymore. Or maybe you do if the floor is cold. Anyway. Oh goodness. Maybe they're overlapping, but maybe not. Another essential detail, the eyes. They're glowing. Oh goodness. Okay, now maybe let me match the color of my outfit to the character, because since everything's monochrome, I want to match it to the background. Let me make it brighter. Yes. I need to blend this here. It's hurting my eyes. The surrounding color could be red, but it could also be blue or green or purple or gold. It's giving royalty. I am also thinking of a floor that looks like a chessboard and maybe some pillars on the side, and then on top some warm light, but maybe not that bright. I do want her to stand out. Some flowers or some flower petals. Okay, this is my idea. We have the sketch and not just a black screen. Woo! This time I did a very fine sketch on top of a very rough one, because the dress has many folds and ruffles that need careful detailing. As always, I continued to do the shading, and I was very unsure about it this time because I added a gradient on top just intuitively, and I feel like it kind of looks too random. Anyway, I just did some rendering. When I had done a good portion of that, I added colors, and I was not sure about those either because the base was too bright and now the colors have too much contrast to them. Maybe you can see it too. So I rendered the face, the hair and the sleeves and more, and then I was also not sure about the background. Do I want pillars? Maybe. I want it to be golden. But how does the golden lighting affect the character? I also wanted to add petals, and now that I look at it, I don't even want pillars. It was a good decision to remove those because then I could focus more on her and on shading her properly. And now we kind of have a nice contrast of warm orange lighting and cool blue shadows. Orange and blue is always a nice color combination. Of course, the ruffles and all the details on her dress needed a lot of attention and a lot of careful rendering. And maybe I do want to add the pillars now that everything's properly shaded. The only thing left to do was adding more finer details, and attack number 9 is done. So, I was originally planning to make 4 videos and 3 attacks in each video. But now that we only have 3 days of Artfight left, I should not put that time into cutting and finishing and publishing another video, but instead put another 2 attacks in this video. I am very sorry for the big delay. I did not expect the amount of things I had to do in July. I had a violin performance this week and I messed up so bad. I just want to forget about it. And also the 3rd heatwave has rolled in and it's just as bad as the first one, meaning 39 degrees something. I don't know. I don't even know anymore. Anyway, I'm attacking the next character right now. She is called Ayesha, if you pronounce the name like that. And this is the artist that created her. Ayesha's style is inspired by a mix of Yaru sub-styles, MC Bling, Mech Bling, I have no idea, and Scene. I think the second one that I don't know how to pronounce is some sort of early 2000s aesthetic, but you can see it in her character design. And yes, you saw that correctly, she has a disco ball face. I've never seen something like that. I want to draw it. Ayesha's not the nicest person apparently, and she's the definition of never meet your heroes in real life. Now that doesn't sound like a person I personally would like to hang out with, but she has a very cool design that I want to draw. I definitely want a close-up. Definitely. Maybe even from the front again. And this is going to be so complicated. I love it. So this still looks normal, like a normal human being. Just doing the hair a bit. Kind of like this. It also has pink streaks. She even has pink lips and eyes. And now I will add what I imagine in my head, the disco texture. I don't know how tiny I want the little mirror squares to be, but I want each single one to reflect the light a bit differently, but to also make it harmonize in a way that it looks good and not distracting. Okay, at the moment it looks like a net. And now let me try to add some kind of lighting concept. This part of the face is in the shade. Every single one is a different kind of dark. I think basically I can base it off basic shading on the face, but turn it into squares. Maybe I can even visualize it with colors. For example, here's some lighter purple, darker purple, kind of a mid-tone, pink, lighter pink. Right, this doesn't really come across in a way that I am imagining it, but maybe you get what I mean. To properly recreate the texture on the face, I have an idea. I have silver face paint right here. It's very glittery. I just hope no one needs something from me in the next 30 minutes. And well, I need to do this without my glasses on because, yeah, for obvious reasons. I can't see nothing. I don't have a bigger makeup brush here. How do you activate this kind of paint? Because it seems to be hydrophobic. I'm confused. I look a bit like I have lead poisoning or something like that. So it looks really bad. You can't really see the silver. I just look like I'm really sick and I can't see shit. Maybe the glow will be beneficial in some way. First one. It looks so bad. You know the lighting is not too bad. What does the lighting look back here? I can't see it, so I'm gonna take a photo. Wait! Oh, yes, that is the kind of glow that I want. Maybe I want to make her wink, but I kind of want to make her look menacing. I don't know how to do that. Maybe from this angle. No, on the other angle. That doesn't look menacing, that looks like I'm suffering. Let me try to step back again. This is exactly the kind of glow I was planning to have. Now that I look at the first one, it's not even that bad. I'm gonna leave it there. It's kind of a risk because I took some time to put this on, and if I take it off, that was it. I'm not gonna do this again. I just need my skin to breathe again. There's almost 30 degrees in here. My face is still glittering all over. I seem to have issues with the screen recording. No idea why. Maybe this one's gonna work. I just have the issue that I actually can't pick. The first one we have is this, and we have this, then this, and this. I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. Each single one of the ones that are left has something to it that is great. This one, for example, I like the expression, but we have quite a lot of shadow here in the middle. This one is a bit more innocent looking, but the lighting is a bit more there. And then we have this one where my face looks very glossy and glowing. So in order to decide, I'm gonna pick this and try to alter it. I already have quite an idea. Bear with me. I'm gonna cut out the face and then desaturate it. I'm first gonna try to make a grid. And now I basically smudge every single, or wait, color pick the middle tone of every single patch and paint it in there. That's probably gonna take a very long time. Well, it's been some time. This is kind of my idea. I think I'm gonna keep this angle. I've really grown to like it, and I don't have the patience to do that on the other angles. Now I'm just gonna add a little touch up, making the eyes pink. Yeah, it looks a tiny bit cursed, but that's okay. She obviously has fabulous lashes. I might be lucky that she has kind of downturned eyes, just like me. That makes figuring out the angle easier. I could add hair, but I think I'm not gonna do that because the reference I need is mainly the face, and everything else can be added later. This is what we have. Sketching the portrait was so enjoyable because sketching full bodies all the time with all these limbs, you know, can get exhausting. So sketching just the face and a hand was involved. I just had a great time. The rendering was enjoyable as well, and the coloring as well. And then the disco ball texture started. I went from color picking each single square to smudging each single square very quickly because it was a little faster. I had a bit more fun texturing the squares and adding a bit of lighting. And then I started rendering, especially the hair. Here you can see me experimenting with even more lighting. And my main mission was to make the hair and the face kind of naturally blend into each other, even though the face doesn't have a natural texture. And I added pink lighting because it was just necessary. And that's it. Attack number 10 is done. The next characters I want to draw also have names that I don't know how to pronounce. I'm gonna try. They're called Kèham and Senetis. Maybe. The artist has thought of a really cool concept for both of them, and I'm gonna tell you a bit about it. Kèham is a Kèham sat, if you pronounce it like that. And that's basically a human who offered a part of themselves to the god Kèham sat in order to obtain the power of ink. You can see that by looking at his design, because he has black lines running along his body. And if he runs 2 fingers along a line, the ink stretches to create anything, like a sword, a cape, a bow, a mask, or just a wave of pure ink. But there's more to it. To become a Kèham sat, Kèham offered his femininity and basically got the body he's always dreamt of. Now, the power is a gift, but also a curse at the same time, because if the ink seeps too deeply into you, it will replace your blood and thoughts until you die. That doesn't sound too pleasant. So Kèham doesn't only use the ink to create weapons, but also to block out his emotions in order to avoid suffering. Now, luckily, there's also Senetis, who saved Kèham. Senetis can read thoughts and emotions that other people try to hide, but always asks for consent to do that first. And both of them are lovers, so I want to draw them together. And I'm already picturing something really cute. I want them to sleep on the head of each other. I want them to nap on each other. Of course, I placed them in a way that their hair would flow perfectly to this side and to this side. And I'm imagining kind of a close-up here. I want to really focus on their jewelry that they have going around on their heads, and maybe some ink floating around here. That's all I want to draw. I already have it in my mind. Whoa! In order to make myself sleep on another person, I might need a prop. Let me see if I can put it on my violin case or if it's not the right angle. Could work, but okay, I should probably not lean my head on the wall because it kind of tilts my chin upwards and I don't want that. I want something like this because it's easier to draw. That's kind of cute. Oh, I might want to get closer to the camera. Maybe I don't even need to lean on the wall. I don't like the lighting either. I'm gonna put it right in front of my face and see how it changes. And another source right at the side. Was that my knee? I think my knee is fine. It doesn't hurt. My knees do crack, but not that loudly. Anyway, I'm gonna continue. Oh, yes. I like that lighting. It's cute. Then I need to be this person. Probably like this, right? That's a first time hit. How do you call it? A single take. I don't know. The first picture I took is already the picture. I'm forgetting how to speak in this heat. Oh, it's surprisingly fitting. And let's see if... Oh, wow. Why does that work so good on the first attempt? I already told you that I want ink to be floating around here. Kind of like this. The background is not going to be white, but instead I have no idea. Maybe some shade of purple with a gradient? Maybe an orange background. Or maybe blue. Blue looks pretty with a purple accent. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Now I'm not gonna add all the character details because they're very detailed, but I'm gonna add the ink lines so we know who is who. Wait a minute. Maybe because I want Senetis to look at his lover with a loving glance. Give me a minute. Oh no, I painted it right on the actual layer. Well, this is cursed. I'm gonna keep it. I'm still glittering, by the way. Everything's sparkling. This was by far the most complicated sketch and line art of all the pieces before, because the characters are very detailed. The shading was also very tedious, because there are many details. However, adding the colors was enjoyable, because all the hard work before kind of paid off, and it made the large amounts of hair look very pretty. Now, that many details in a painting are stressful when you're focusing on the whole thing, right? But when I render, I start focusing on smaller areas, depending on how fine I render. And when you become eager to invest time into the details, it becomes fun. I was very eager to draw those golden clothing rims. Look at them. Oh, golden metallic texture. Oh, it's so pretty. And then rendering the hair took forever. And that's exactly why I constantly changed tasks and then came back. For example, after rendering a lot, I started shading again. Basically shading phase 2. Then I started rendering again. Basically rendering stage 2 or something. Then I did some shading again. Shading stage 3. And then I did some rendering again. Rendering stage 3, if you want to call it that. I don't plan it through. I just assigned the steps names so you know what is going on here. And then it was finally time to take care of the final details, such as skin texture, body hair, ink lines and marks. And in the end I added rim light and the ink floating around them. That's all. That's it. That is the final attack. Attack number 11 of Artfight 2026. So that's it. That was Artfight 2026. I started out very strong and then yeah, the weather, appointments, concerts, life happens. This is, however, not the last video I will be making about Artfight 2026, because as I promised, I will make one single long video about all your art, because I am immensely grateful. Before I end the video, let me just say everyone deserves to get art. Everyone that made art for me deserves art back. Everyone. Which is not humanly possible. And I know that most of you know that. But deciding who I want to draw in the end was hard. I looked through a lot of profiles. A lot. And I saw so many cool OCs and I wish I was able to draw all of them. Time was not my friend. And I hope you all had an amazing Artfight this year. I heard some people say that this year was not a good year. And I kind of understand what they mean because 3 teams change the dynamic a bit, and somehow it's getting more and more of an online trend, if you know what I mean, which means that people are participating in the first days and then they're just logging off, never to be seen again. I'm not speaking from personal experience, by the way. And of course, I'm also aware that I'm part of the social media problem, which actually made me think if I should even participate in 2027, because it is unfair. It is unfair that I'm getting so much art and a lot of people are getting none. This is not an accusation, don't worry. If you think my characters are cool, if you wanted to make art for me, that's totally fine, I get it. I love this event, I love the concept, I am, again, immensely grateful. So just let me know your thoughts. I really want to know what you think, and yeah, that's that. Now, Team Comedy is probably going to win. Team Mystery is probably going to be last. We fought well. I had a lot of fun once again. I'm gonna be back soon in the next video. So until then, have a nice day, evening or night, and bye. This is what I imagined Artfight to be like when I first heard of it.